Blake Langermann attended St. Sibyl High School in grade 4 when he met Jessica Gray and Lynn, who he later became close friends with. Blake even had a crush on Lynn, and Jessica would often try to ask Blake about it. One day, Jessica lured Blake into the cafeteria and tried to get him to talk, and he eventually did. But Jessica tackled him and made him say she won. They left the cafeteria and were making their way home when Father Laudermilch caught them and brought them into the music room before sending Blake away and turning to Jessica and chasing her. Blake heard the screams and followed from a distance before finding Jessica's body on the stairs. Blake eventually started dating Lynn, and they got married while becoming investigative journalists. One day, Lynn and Blake saw a news report of a pregnant woman who had been strangled to death in the desert. Blake threw the remote at the TV, breaking it, and he and Lynn set out. They rented a helicopter, and the pilot flew them out to the desert, where Blake fell asleep, since the area couldn't be accessed by car. Lynn woke Blake up and asked him to record her news speech before a flashing light caused their helicopter to crash, knocking everyone out. When Blake woke up, he headed to the wreckage to see nothing in it. He saw their pilot skinned on a nearby tree before heading into Temple Gate. He witnessed many testaments of the new Ezekiel members surrounding him and backing away. He eventually crawled under a fence and encountered Marta, who chased him into a barn. Blake then wandered through the town until he reached a chapel and realized Lynn was in there after he heard screaming. Lynn jumped out of a window to escape, and Blake ran up to his wife before they began to make their way out. However, a group of heretics ambushed them and kidnapped Lynn after she had to stop for a pain in her stomach, and they left Blake behind. Blake began seeing visions of the school before being found by a man named Ethan, who took him for shelter. Blake rested in a cellar Ethan had and woke up from a nightmare in time to see Ethan get killed by Marta. He left Ethan's house and eventually headed back into the chapel after being chased again, where he found a man tied to a wheel. Blake hid in a booth and watched as Sullivan Noth entered and tortured the man alongside a woman to reveal Lynn's location. After Noth killed them both and left, Blake was discovered and chased out of town towards a bridge after he had another school vision. As he tried to cross the bridge leading to the mines Lynn was being held captive in, a swarm of locusts caused Blake to lose his balance and fall into a tree. A pack of skulled people tried to crucify him and bury him alive, but he escaped both, and their leader, Laird Byron, was betrayed and killed, giving Blake an easy escape route. Blake began having more visions as he rode across a lake and even stumbled into blood rain before finally making it into the mines. He was chased by many heretics before finding Lynn, who for some inexplicable reason was fully pregnant. Lynn and Blake left the mines and tried looking for shelter before finally deciding on the chapel. Lynn lay on a torture rack and gave birth to a baby ultimately ended up dying, and Blake was so heartbroken he passed out, while still holding the baby. When Blake woke up, he saw Noth slit his throat due to the baby being born. He headed outside and saw the other Testament members dead as well. Blake was soon blinded by a flashing light caused by the radio towers. Several hours later, two detectives named Paul Marion and Pauline Glick came to the Temple Gate and found Blake. The detectives ordered their goons to take him to a facility to be questioned about what he was seeing. So that's the first episode of this Outlast 2 character lore series. I know I was like, there's so much detail on Blake, and pretty much every other character, there's not really much. I know I didn't really detail these as much as I did the first Outlast, but because I know that game a little more than I do Outlast 2, but obviously I didn't include some chase scenes where like Blake just being randomly chased, and he's just randomly either he's like thrown into a school vision, or then he's being chased by another cultist, and yeah, that's literally all it is during the important stuff until he even gets to Lynn. and even a final chase with Marta, but that will be in but we'll cover all that when I do her. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode, and please like, sub, and peace. Stay tuned for next week where we do Sullivan Noth.